Eya abrante Sammy Gyamfi kro ye. Ebra ma Mrs. Ladapa asemba ya yesi akwako hu sika bi woni fie. Abrante ya na kan se ma me yenyini firi ho. Yewura Akufuado. Out of good governance, amemwo a opese mu dan find no. Oma oba pani ojina djuma firi nsem anaso o ma ne resign ye. Ne ye kan se na no bi se ye de sa aba no bo tachi a yesi ye nei yemfa nya dai yemfa boba se esi dan na obi a yenya ntua ne ka wo na enei ono watimi yenya dollars dosopo se wo hwe kwan so ofa so yi dollar na wutimu se bebregu ho pa na usa hwe ebiem car na otimu a ode koye tukura dem 2025 Range Rover autobiography fully spec'd $350,000, and this is serious lack of confidence in our city here. Aketua kra na amusi yemetua ne kana ano hye eye afimu bia no obeje 1.5 million Ghana cedis titisika no 15 billion ena obeje uye no free man na no so kra no yesa timitum ohamu nchichemu edunum utimitum after every 2 years bia no utimi esa kiremu entade obehye menu mienu de a ye hye kama entade obehye no ono no de no abaya for hu ka 15% of the annual salary into your calculation now 150,000 Ghana cedis ne de ba ne se on fanton tade and na ye twa 150,000 and for more kwabrane se on fanton tade nche any shoes enche the security for ye tuaka yo bedo do ne garden mu ye tuaka sika sema ya kan nyina ne na katua ya kan nyina no eno nka sika ode ko hospital ho ne sika ne hospital ne bibia ne manum ne anya ne yire mu nyina no aban asai afa ho ka petrol 1,005 liters ka ansana ya sama no car mienu a ontwie ansana eye okọ ahomegye mu se opeso okọ ba bi ko gigi nani kakra wa bre wa adwuma bre no okọ a eno so ban fa ho nya ka yetwa business class ma no ni hotel ka ya fa ho ka ni bibia ya sama no 2,000 a day per diem dollars o SID aka ho SID ma no and $2,000 is 24,000 Ghana cedis eno no gina day ti ni aka ne se aban ya hwe wo sei na wo sei bu yen yesi di nanim tiade a ne yesre o mampani ni se na daroma sabe sane na no esi ya eye ye ma Mrs. Ladapa eno kwa no OSP ye hwehwemu dia ba se ma me no kwa no ne hu dai hu so asisika no no ane dia ono oyobi a waye adwuma amfie duanan ne kunu sika kra de etisempo ano anwea woye architect over 60 years of experience 60 years an international consultant obia ni so oskapa one of the richest architects we have in Ghana na se enei obi akokotu sika no kra no yese anti money laundering act no wa fomra no etino yenyine di
so send this cafe amanoni aba Africa ha Usulem 5 say ye fia wo pese wo nto no Usulem 5 edan ya na say japade a wani da so a wo pese oto wa Africa ha no Usulem 5 say wo send this sika ama odofo e de aboa no wo Africa ha Usulem 5 sanso e na say wo tie obi school fees ama no a Usulem 5 nyenti American full Lem 5 ama on say utimi send this sika e fa Lem 5 so a e ma ne begu bank account mu sanso e na timi begu mobile money account mu eno achi nso no de bia Lem 5 e wo daily rate a e ma hu sika dodo a wo send a wo benya Lem 5 e secured na wo send this car enche na nipa wo send ama no ne nsaka Lem 5 wo USA Canada UK Italy Germany Ireland Netherlands Spain Belgium Portugal and France what the Lem 5 send this car untu ahwe bomodi an dey use me code NEWS news na say ene any day di kan register or Lem 5 so a unya bonus sanso ena use chen so a ye wo bonuses ahodo a yɛde
na ene adetitu nti a yɛhyia wɔ ha ɛfa amamuo ho enkyɛ na yɛwura mahama ɛde krata ba ya wato din ɛyɛ code of conduct na sikyɛ nyina ne sɛ ɛyɛ krata a wakukyiri sɛ ne ɛbɛyɛ a ɛyɛ ɔmo a wapa ɔmo so ɔmo bɛyɛ adwuma ɛwɔ n'aban mu no ɔmo de ɛbɛyɛ adwuma na ama amamuo no ayɛ fɛ ɛni na wɔtwe koraa ɛna yɛhu sɛ the National Communications Officer of the NDC, NIBM, acting CEO, Gold Board. Wako a year say no. Where ye a year Bronisika dollars ibi. Or dear Mame Agrada. Now here's the canon sending an OC kind of baby in Agrada as I shim Yaka in Asa account. Now, near one say. Say, a young National Communications Officer of the party was acting Gold Board CEO. Yera Mahama. And some of them for no more Kenya say, and ya one sa ubetimedia can a ya branty sans or you golden boy. Untimia Honshe, Untimia Bibia, na a Casa Casaqua. If I saw social media, so I send more canon. Nanso no, adia wa ye no ya adia a chere. Eye ahokyira Ghana for film ene enema bo akosoro na wo hwe obi onu no hwe gold board so na wayi sika $2 dollars na odi ache ano hye etietia Ghana mra o code of conduct na ankasa o de bae no ebu nanimtia se opani Mahama anya hu bibia ye kira ni say eya code of conduct na de ba ni say be kra ta keke emunye du ebe ya mframa o kasa keke na menyin ni say sa na apese o mamu no esiko no na ebi esipen eya abrantes Sammy Gyamfi kro ye ebra ma Mrs Ladapa asemba ya yesi akwako hu sika bi woni fie abrantie ya na kan say ma me yenyini mfiri ho Yewra Ekufuado out of good governance amamuo a opese mu dan find no oma oba pani ogina djuma firi nsem anaso o ma ne resign ye ne aye kan se na no bi se ye de sa aba no bo tachi a ye se ye nei yemfa nya dai yemfa boba wei aye ni tete se esi dan na obi a yenya ntua ne ka o na enei ono wetim yenya dollars $2 se wo hwe kwan so ofa so yi dollar na wotimu se bebregu ho pa na usa hwe ebiem ka na otimu a ode koye na no ana Yera Mahama kasa o kan bibi se na point is no they should eschew opulence and ostentation. Ye chenya ne se akesesem se ye disika kire on person appointees ni be sa ene isa wo hwe car na Yewra Sammy Gyamfi kura dem 2025 Range Rover autobiography fully spec $350,000 ena otim no de ko ye keke se wo hwe ye Ghana ye mramu o hwe the Foreign Exchange Act o hwe the Anti-Money Laundering Act ne ye kan se akuntia ebiem se wo hwe eniema kese a akatua kra ye de ma ne ya ne se eye gold ya ye ka ho asemu nyina ne de gold board abai ne dwumadi kese ba akopa aban me ate ase ne se e baba be so ye sidinim ebema ye sidi na ye dey agina na opani a ono no wo gold board na o hwe se ye sidi ni begina no onje ye sidi ni ndi $80 na o ye dey o che. And this is serious lack of confidence in our city. Chese wama yen ye sika na ye die no emu tidie die watono asawram obuna nimtia onfanya hwe ye siga ye dia eno ne yesi bra bebo ho ban na nke nei entimi nyina no wo ba wo de sid na nimu nyam atwitwi fom eno ne ade ana wonso nyese sabe wo ye obi akeke o sabe nko obi akeka enuafo nka ye mfrɛ nsentrofo dwumadie eye Ghana ban sa wo hwɛ eye aketua kra na mo se ye metua ne kana ano hye eye afimu bia no obeje 1.5 million Ghana cedis titi sika no 15 billion ena obeje uyi anu free ma na no so kwa no yesa timitum ohamu nchichemu edunum utimitum after every 2 years bia no utimi esa kire mu entade obehye menu mienu dia ye hye kama entade obehye no ono no de no aban ya for hu ka 15% of the annual salary into your calculation now 150,000 Ghana cedis ne de ba ne se on fanton tade na sabi watade show wo kwa to ne sei atade show wo to ne sei and na yetwa 150,000 and for more kwabrane se on fanton tade nche any shoes enche the security for yetuaka yobedo do ne garden mu yetuaka sika semo ya kan nyina ne na katua ya kan nyina no eno nka sika ode ko hospital ho ne sika ne hospital ne bibia ne manu ne anya ne yire mu nyina no aban asai afa ho ka petrol 1,005 liters ya fa ho ka omo ankomu nim punta no komma me how many gallons 1,005 liters no ha me no nko ano yesa tuaka ansana ya sama no car mienu a wontwie ansana eye okwa ahomgie mu se opeso okoba bi ko gigi nani kakra wa bre wa adwuma bre no okwa eno so ban fa ho nya ka yetwa business class ma no ni hotel ka ya fa ho ka ni bibia ya sama no 2,000 a day per diem dollars o esade aka ho esade ma no and $2,000 is 24,000 Ghana cedis eno no gina day eti ne ka ne se aban ya hwe wo sei na wo sei bu yen sidi nanim tiade a ne yesre omampani ni se na daroma sabe sania na no esi ya eye ye maame sisi adapa eno kwa no OSP ye hwehwemu dia ba se maame no kwa no ne hu dai hu son asisika no ono ane dia ono oyobi a waye adwuma emfie duanan ne kunu sika kra de etesem ano anwea woye architect over 60 years of experience 60 years an international consultant obi ani miso oskapa one of the richest architects we have in Ghana na se enei obi akokotu sika no kra no yese anti money laundering act no wa fomra no etino yenyine di enei or resign here it is ene sa na no bi ena sa asem ni si ya enei it is only fair say employer ramahama maninsi nchen ye mfa hwehwemu mra because ne atie no kra so mkra ye ntua omoka ena enei omanya sika ayesa dwumadi nyina na ade ba ko a na asefem so dwumadi nyina ho ne se achopa de ye achopa ye pa obi fomu a na opo achowa anuafo na modi ache na enu nche se ofum mra na o se wapa acho ne ma okọ na no A+ na attorney general baba be ka tre se onu de A+ ya onu ni be di efi mu agro na ateche mu agro de na de tete no to onu de obetumi atete ateche de aye no na why na si attorney general na ye peso atete ateche de ye no enuafo mo ha minyi ni se mo be pese ya attorney general no onware wa atechem onware ofin mu ontiti finya ne ho wo hwe constitution medical kan se wo hwe ne dwumadi ne yakase pa ono na ye lawyer ni pani egina ho ma Ghana ban ono na ye lawyer ni pani kase pa egina ho ma Ghana ban na se lawyer ni penny kese ya ka tro se wo wakwa akọji sika 500,000 ademude e de ba be ma appointment committee parliament se ne be ya obe go through parliament and you see kona ko sign wuti fa court house there be court yan ade obekọ atinte huru be ne tua wo tunti a wuntimi hwere treasure dey ntina wuntimi nko because e bia wo de plus ko ba ono so be kana se enti wo se ne ho nanso no wodi nkofo bi kokoto saa ade akwadu a de gbowi se wo ye kronfo wo no keta ase hye ne proye dware wakwa akọji sika de abrem na hye bedwefo no wo nso no wodi nkofo bi pese omode omkokota wo nso na wo se se wo charge omo for corruption but wo nso no ye de bibisi ato so yewura mahama se wa me anye sa hwehwemu ye wi ane sisi atoni general anamo a obi adwemu ni se ya toni general odware atechemu ya toni general oye kronfo ya toni general akọji ademude ya toni general ene ekono de bia bon siniti ayekono sa no oko sanse adwea ye di hunu no enti o si etimi sign niti mi hu bi da sa to na no wo be kaya ye ra Godfrey Dame wo ho ena NDC fokofa tape bi o mo akatekate no mo de asisi ani eno mo se ye ra Godfrey Dame ene Japan edi nkomo eno ko mo frɛ no criminal enanse ya ozi ensemo mo kan no ebia o na wiase de wo ho wo wi ofo nsa no ahwe won nsa no ofo no se nipa won nipa nsa se enti wo wi ofo nsa no ahwe won nsa because ansema na no mo kan yi a mo se Godfrey Dame edidi na tem sanse mo se oni obi akokasa no ene ya to ne general de ono no yese wo ye kromfo yese wo ye wi yese wo kwa akọji ademude 500,000 Ghana cedis e de bread appointment committee in parliament mutini yo ono no onfa nipa no court no nko sign it o se there be court den ade obekọ no nko se na daje wo me won so de bia court na otie eho na odidie eho na oda eho esi akra de office utu na no adu high court wo so wontimi fa nipa no court na o concentrate wo me wa nipa na gu ho fin waka asematia be ka asem so a wo se A+ ni be kire yen ade a onimu fa NSS mo ono na emba be kire yen attorney general wona tumi na ekura wo Ghana njira no tumi kura so wona wo de obedi yen so ma ye obe yen na yen konko busa A+. Now where from this pension for any as a media trial na ya the media for aba na ye kan sem a enim attorney general no kwasem ni wagu ne ho fi Tony John enkasa saa wonni mo dwumadi e wo constitution ye nya de saa asem nso a ye de ato ne tiri so no onhwe no sign it yewura mahama asodie kese mienu eda wo so ni wa code of conduct a wo de baaye ene emu nsem no ne ye pie bene ebie ma de ba kwa ya se hu ni se ene NDC e baaye o ma ya appointment bebre a o mo bu o man no na yawo omo ano omo ye NDC national officers stabilization of the city through the maintenance of sufficient gold reserves. Do not forget that the establishment of the gold board, one of the arguments for the establishment of the gold board was to centralize all businesses, all dealings regarding gold, to stabilize the city. This argument was made widely. If Mr. Gyamfi, the CEO who is responsible for maintaining sufficient reserves to support, to help, and to prevent the depreciation of the city, to stabilize the city, possesses dollars in his daily routine. And we say daily routine because when you go for a funeral 1 week and you have dollars packed in your car, then the indications are that that is your modus operandi in terms of spending. That is how you spend. That is the money you use. Because if you are just going for 1 week and you have tens of thousands of dollars in your car, Mr. Sammy Gyamfi, again, then clearly he has no confidence in our city. And if you are superintending over an institution which, as part of its mandate, is to help stabilize the city, that is the only legal tender, and I've already mentioned that. And if you have the head who superintends over this institution doling out dollars instead of the city, then it means that the person or the CEO, acting CEO, lacks confidence in the Ghanaian city. And that is key. And that is the more reason why we are of the view, the New Patriotic Party, and I speak for the party, we are of the view that if he is unable to stand firm, if he is unable to defend the city, if he is unable to protect the city, and he will rather be displaying dollars, then it means he cannot superintend over the same institution seeking to stabilize the city with gold reserves. But let me also state on record that under the gold purchasing program of the New Patriotic Party, our gold reserves as a country, which stood at 8.7 tons, for the last 40 to 50 years grew to about 30.53 tons as at the fourth quarter of 2024. This program is one of the major reasons why we are seeing the appreciation of the city. Again, yesterday, the minority in parliament also had a press conference where they also mentioned the allowances, the salaries of Mr. Sammy Gyamfi. Referencing the minority press conference yesterday, the state cannot be paying Mr. Gyamfi hefty salaries and allowances for him to be undermining the very currency which is at the heart of his mandate. The state provides the following for Mr. Gyamfi: a gross basic salary annually 1.5 million, subject to an annual review and upward adjustment of 15%. 1.5 million a year. Hold on, that is not the only amount. Hold on. Let's go step by step. Hold on. Clothing allowance of 15% of annual salary, payable once per annum by year end. So the 15 million I just mentioned, he is entitled to clothing allowance of 15% of his annual salary. So he's entitled to 15% of 1.5 million, which is supposed to be his clothing allowance. Hold on. Provision of 2 security officers or 6,000 each officer as an equivalent. 1 gardener or 4,000 Ghana cedis as a cash equivalent. Full medical cover for him, his spouse, and up to 5 children. Provision of 2 cars with full maintenance and insurance. Fuel allocation of 1,005 liters of fuel monthly. Fuel allocation, do your own mathematics, 1,005 liters of fuel monthly for each official vehicle. The official vehicle may be sold to Mr. Gyamfi upon a contract expiration or termination per the company's asset disposal policy. 30 working days of paid vacation annually. 30 working days of paid vacation annually, exclusive of public holidays. So anywhere in the world, if he decides to go to Bahamas, if he decides to go to wherever, wherever, if he decides to go there, the state is responsible to pay fully all the expenses for this vacation. Airfare up to $10,000 upon proof of per diem of USD $2,000 a day. So if he travels for 30 days, it means he's going to receive $2,000 a day for 7 days, payable in advance for annual familiarization tour. Business class travel tickets for official duties and $2,000 per diem per day of travel. Annual performance bonus subject to set targets and in accordance to the company's bonus policy. An unspecified CEO-related benefit shall be paid at the prevailing CEO's rate plus 20%. Personal accident and life insurance cover valued at 5 times the CEO's annual salary. Somebody said A. Let me repeat it. Personal accident and life insurance cover valued at 5 times the CEO's annual salary. The annual salary is what? 1.5 million. It is palpable, unethical, and a complete betrayal of the public trust for Mr. Sammy Gyamfi to receive all these benefits on the back of helping maintaining a steady currency, yet fail to have any iota of confidence in the Ghana cedi to the extent of using United States dollars as his currency of daily use. Ladies and gentlemen, it may have escaped many observers of this unfortunate incident, but not only, and this is an important aspect, not only was Mr. Sammy Gyamfi giving out United States dollars without restraint, but Mr. Gyamfi also engaged in patent opulence on ostentation of just after 120 days in government. On the day in question, Mr. Gyamfi was being driven in a 2025 fully spec'd Range Rover autobiography valued at $350,000. Fresh, it was fresh Range Rover autobiography, fresh, tear rubber, fully spec'd autobiography, Range Rover, 2025 model, $350,000. The question that should engage the minds of well-meaning Ghanaians and how Mr. Sammy Gyamfi can afford all these things under 120 days is being in government, and if they are gift, who are these persons gifting him, and what relationship do they have to his work as CEO? If within 120 days in office, appointees of Mr. Mahama have become culpable of such opulence and ostentation, then the years ahead will be indeed a telling story. Already, there is a loud cloud of corruption hanging around President Mahama's appointee. Following the indictment of Dr. Ayene, his Attorney General, as involved in corrupt activities, Article 88 of the Constitution is very clear. And I'll come back again to Sammy. But just about some few weeks ago, the Attorney General was accused of being a thief and being a corrupt person. In his defense, he said that A+ is saying so because he went for some monies from a certain businessman called Dr. Sledge. And that is why A+ is saying so. Now, A+ comes back, says that no, that is not what I'm referring to. I am referring to the 500,000 Ghana cedis. He's specific. He has mentioned the amount. I am referring to the 500,000 Ghana cedis you went for. And the reason for this money was to go and bribe the appointment committee of parliament, because you were appearing before the appointment committee. Now, he goes on to say that he is a stupid fool and he will reset his mind. Again, when the Attorney General attempted to respond, he says that A+ should not go there, and if A+ wants us to play in the mud, in the dirt, he is prepared. He can dirty himself. He can play in the mud, because where he comes from, they have been playing in the mud. So as for mud, he's not afraid of mud. Who says we want our Attorney General to be playing in the mud? Who? Who said? And you see, that is why I brought this constitution. In fact, the only minister with an elaborate mandate captured in the constitution is the Attorney General. Article 88 is clear. And indulge me. There shall be an Attorney General of Ghana who shall be the Minister of State and the principal legal advisor to the government. The Attorney General shall discharge such other duties of legal nature as may be referred to or assigned to him by the President or imposed on him by this Constitution or any other law. 3. The Attorney General shall be responsible for all the initiation and conduct, of all prosecutions of criminal offenses. All offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic of Ghana shall be at the suit of the Attorney General or any other person authorized by him in accordance with any law. 5. The Attorney General shall be responsible for institution and conduct of all civil cases on behalf of the state, and all civil proceedings against the state shall be instituted against the Attorney General as a defendant. 6 and final. The Attorney General shall have audience in all courts in Ghana. So if you have your Attorney General who is unable to respond to such serious allegations, he is unable to respond to these allegations well, but then he says that, first of all, he's been advised to proceed to court, but then he will not do so because he's been given a mandate by the president. He wants to concentrate. I find that weird. Look, in your daily practice, you always go to court. If somebody says you are a thief, you are corrupt, you have gone for 500,000 Ghana cedis to bribe appointment committee so that you can sail through vetting, and the person says that you are a stupid fool and is going to reset your mind, and you are telling Ghanaians that you are not going to go to court, you will not proceed to court. Why? Because you are focusing on your work. Meanwhile, court is where you live, is where you sleep, is your home. So, is it not scary? Is it not scandalous that Attorney General says that a member of his own majority caucus, an MP, not just anybody like me and you, an MP says that you are a thief, you are corrupt, you have gone for 500,000 Ghana cedis, and all you can say is that you can play in the mud. As for you, you can swim in the mud. So A+ should bring it on. And then you are rather inviting us to ask A+ what he knows about the NSS scandal. What is our business? Is that supposed to be our business? You have the prosecutorial powers. You are the man in charge. And you are telling us to go and ask A+ what he knows about the NSS scandal. Look, this is below the belt. And as I've just read to you, for an Attorney General to be saying that I can play in the mud, and we are being told that A+ just apologized. So what now? It is going to be an apology spree. People commit offense and they are told to apologize. And so now we are going to live in a nation of apology. Everything is apology. So A plus apologizes, and then Sammy also apologizes, and then we leave it there. No. It's important for us to hold these appointees to account for their actions. Attorney General, you cannot say that you want to play in the mud. We do not want an Attorney General to dirty himself. No, that is not what we want. And again, we expect His Excellency the President not to sweep this under the carpet. These are serious allegations. And all we see is that Epla goes back to pull down the post and is made to apologize, and that is it. Mr. President is being put to the test on his commitment to the very values he sought to espouse exactly a week ago when he outdoored the code of conduct. The entire world is waiting with bated breath on further actions by President Mahama, considering the actions of Mr. Sammy Gyamfi and the Attorney General, who says that I want to play in the mud, I want to dirty myself. We want to see some action from President Mahama. We call on the President to show leadership, to act swiftly, decisively, and not to give Mr. Gyamfi and the Attorney General a pat on their backs for this reckless conduct. It is crucial to underscore the necessity of adherence to governance practice in line with constitutional and legal provisions. And this is an issue I really want to raise with you, and follow me on this. That guide the conduct of public officers in Ghana. You recall that in 2017, former President Akufo-Addo, through the National Executive Committee of the New Patriotic Party, issued a directive mandating that all party officials who had been appointed to governmental positions by President Akufo-Addo must resign from their political party roles in adherence to best practices in governance and accountability. So if you recall, even our current General Secretary, he was the then Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer. When he was appointed CEO, he resigned. A whole lot of ministers, Tutiku Afisa Jaba was the National Women Organizer. She also resigned. Mr. Mewu from Volta Region resigned. Of blessed memory, Honorable Ashiti, Greater Agradaa Minister, also resigned. Honorable Ajay as Mayor also resigned. The names, a lot, they resigned. Today, what do we see? It is important to note that a similar practice does not appear to have followed under the current National Democratic Congress. Several individuals, while holding influential governmental positions, continue to hold dual roles that may pose concern in terms of governance practice, legal stipulations, and ethical standards. Specifically, the following individuals remain in both political and public office, raising critical issues about potential conflict of interest and the need for compliance with relevant legal norms. The National Youth Organizer of the NDC, George Opare Ado, is a minister now. He is still the National Youth Organizer. Mr. Sammy Gyamfi is the National Communications Officer. He has not resigned. And he is still their communications officer. Basintali is still the deputy communications, and Abisu, who is with the Minerals Investment Fund, is also still there. Osman Ayarega is also at post. Meanwhile, he's at NCA. Ruth Sedo is with the NSS. He's still holding on to his post. Mustafa Gbande is at the office of the presidency. He's still holding on to his post. Elikem Kotoko is now the deputy CEO for Forestry Commission. Mr. Omane, Dr. Omane Boama, he's the defense minister. He was in charge of the elections. He's not resigned. I recall that even when I was elected as national youth organizer, I resigned from deputy executive director of NSS. Also, all regional and constituency executives who have been appointed into key government positions are still at post. I go to Ashanti region, their regional secretary is the regional minister, he's still at post. You go to Eastern region, I think the women organizer also was their women organizer, and today he's still at post. The retention of these dual roles by political appointees under the NDC administration raises significant legal concerns regarding the Constitution of Ghana, particularly Article 94, which disqualifies a person from being appointed a member of parliament or a public officer if they hold dual offices that are inconsistent with the principles of public service. Furthermore, Section 2, this is more important, Section 2 of the Public Services Act prohibits public officers from engaging in business or holding any other positions that might undermine their impartiality and efficiency in their official capacities. The continued holding of political appointments alongside public office positions undermines the principle of neutrality in public service, and these individuals remain bound by their party loyalties, which could affect their objectivity and ability to serve the state effectively. In the light of all these considerations, it is imperative for the government to reassess the position of individuals holding dual appointments and ensure that the requisite legal framework are strictly adhered to. The principle of separation of powers between political and public roles is not just a matter of legal compliance, but is central to maintaining public trust, ensuring the integrity of state institutions, and upholding the principles of good governance. We urge His Excellency the President to take immediate steps to rectify the situation by ensuring that all political party holders who have been appointed to public office, especially those holding political positions, comply with the relevant provisions, and also, as we said, because of good governance principles, they must resign. The clear delineation of political roles and governmental functions will reinforce the credibility of the administration and strengthen public confidence in the democratic process. We thank you very much for coming, and we hope that we'll be engaging you we are waiting for the outcome of His Excellency the President. Now, Mame.
So send this cafe amanoni ab Africa ha, Usulemfi. Say ye fear wo pese wo ntono, Usulemfi. E dan ya na say japade a wani da so a wo pese oto wa Africa ha no, Usulemfi. So wo send this sika amodofo e de aboa no wo Africa ha, Usulemfi. Sanso e na say wo tie obi school fees amano a, Usulemfi. Nyenti amekanfo lemfi ama one say utimi send this sika e fa lemfi so a e ma ne begu bank account mu sanso e na timi begu mobile money account mu. Enu achi nso no de bia lemfi e wo daily rate a e ma hu sika dodo a wo send a wo benya. Lemfi e secured na wo send this sika enche na nipa wo send amano no ne nsa aka. Lemfi wo USA, Canada, UK, Italy, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands, Spain, Belgium, Portugal, and France. What the Lemfi send this sika untu ahwe bomodian dey use me code NEWS news na say any day they can register or Lemfi so a unya bonus sanso na use chance so a ye wo bonuses ahodo a ye de ma
menu makwekwe sa sempa kania semenam na meti asempa na mamo amane a na ma no keka me anyem bia what ANS Trading Agency Limited nka sa wo ka say door to door for no de na e watwa esanse obi ne wa say won was door to door business nim wo nuoma wo UK a wo de kwa Ghana ana say Germany a wo de kwa Ghana 3 to 5 weeks ebekwa kodu nipa ne puna no say try na de mo dem sronko wo say adwuma de we mu ne say wo mo bo no e da form say boko ANS Trading Agency Limited e wo air freight special service and nuoma ne ye de be fa plane entintempa na akwa kodu. Obetuma fa saa kwan wɔ yaso de nneɛma free Ghana akɔ UK ana Germany. Efe gigi dem, which na also agina ye, na men drop bomb. ANS Trading Agency Limited pe, and a 40 footer any 20 footer container. Efe UK ediko Ghana, ana Germany ediko Ghana. Oma manuoma yemre, importo, exporto, them there for you. Omo Ghana na mani 0249 170 423. UK has over fraya 0790 802 7527. Germany so 09173 771 2733. Ubenya ANS Trading Agency Limited. Our West Croydon ANS Trading Agency Limited. Quantum Brantem. Wana beboya baso. Maybe next time in your fill up from the bebro.